I just created a video of this email I sent to Credit Express. So they are this is video about them, so I'm not going into details. And now I am creating the of course I will add reference address of that video to this video. So this is that email I sent to Credit Express, which are based in Sweden, that debt collector company. And I'm now going to translate this email which I sent to guy NENAD LUKIC. He is a public enforcement officer or public judicial officer, depends on the country. They're called differently in different countries. So these are more details. So as I said, I will translate this and open all the so judicial enforcement officer. It's public. Usually there's public in front of their names or title, or wherever it is properly called. So I also, in the same way, I added this email to this email. I also added this email to, I forwarded this email to Credit Express, because they are both in charge of, they both Lukic and Credit Express they both that I have money that I need to pay, that is related to money that I need to pay to internet providers. I explained everything in video about this email. So this is the reason why I why I combined these emails to these two. Basically, this guy has his own private company, firm, something like law firm. Both companies, both internet providers that I mentioned, and their names are MTS, Telecom, and the other name is Yetel, former Telenor. So Credit Express is in charge of that. I own to this company, and the Lukic is in charge of that. I have to the MTS or Telecom. So they are both, these two companies are internet provider companies. They also provide landlines, phone landlines, and so on and so on. Oops, I should not do that. So, as I mentioned in video that I just created about this email to Credit Express, these two companies, MTS, Telecom, and Yetel, blocked me at the same time. So two providers, they blocked me at the same time in December 2019, and by doing that, they protected monster who murdered 3 members of my family, brutally murdered 3 members of my family, this degenerate, and also poisoned 3 kids. So these are proofs, undeniable pieces of evidence. This is her sister who gave guarantees for her. Both of these two monsters have major psych issues. So this is about poisoning children. So as I said, I'm now just going to translate this email, and the reason why I'm doing this, why I'm creating video on that, is because I stated here that I'm going to contact International Association of International Union of DA, this is their site, of judicial officers. Usually public is added in front of their names, so public judicial officers or public enforcement officers. And I gave DA example. Oh no. Anyways, I didn't want to do that. I gave example of the I gave proof that his chamber is chamber where he is a member, chamber of public enforcement officer or judicial officers of Serbia, is a member of that international organization, union. So I'm now going to avoid downloading that document file because I don't have plugin. What the hell? Okay. So this is the guy, the piece of shit who is who was involved. He's the major player in illegally changing his Templar Knight, illegally changing property in cadastre. He is the director of, by the way, he's Montenegrin, he's not Serbian. Montenegrins, and Montenegro is a state created by communists, so illegal state. So he is director of Geodetic Institute, Republic Geodetic Institute of Serbia, which is in charge of cadastres. These are state institutions. Usually every city has them. Every city that is sort of capital or certain district. So those cadastres are in charge of the now I'm going off the topic, but I need to mention because he's in that picture. So Borko Drašković, real piece of shit and moron and criminal. So cadastres. So Geodetic Institute is in charge of cadastres, and cadastres are dealing with properties, ownership of properties and stuff like that. And he was the major player who ordered cadastre in Smederevo to illegally change the ownership of the property, third of my property, and gave it to that monster who murdered 3 members of my family and poisoned children. So I sent all the, which is of course here in that video, I sent all the details how Judge Dejan Adamović broke the law during inheritance proceedings, but they did nothing. They simply ignored me. Actually, they answered once, but some rubbish answer, something which doesn't have anything to do with common sense logic. Okay, so that was the guy, and this is the chamber of, as I said, of public enforcement or public judicial officers. This is the same story as with notaries. They are just invented or introduced, whatever, by I have video on this moron. So this is president of the chamber. So both these officers and real morons, I mean, come on, and the notaries, they are just created by so-called elite to steal money from taxpayers. This is their, again, this moron. So this is their major goal, and I have that was Ministry of Justice. I have video on that piece of shit, moron and monster. So I just need to check out if I can find, yeah, so Bojan Kostić, that's the guy who is he's the president of Chamber of Public Enforcement or Judicial Officers. Actually, I will call them judicial from now on in this video, because this is according to that union. Usually what I'm doing first, when members of that chamber doesn't answer, this is something like bar association, but this is for those officers, not for the lawyers. Actually, bar association of Serbia is actually called, when translated literally in Serbian, it's called Chamber of Lawyers. So usually I contact president of the chamber, in this case of the chamber that has to do with the member of the chamber. So what I just said. So I usually contact chamber which is in charge if their member doesn't answer, but I'm not going to do that here, because it really doesn't make sense anymore, because none of them answered me. So I'm just going to use this in forward email to that international union, to this address, to the direct, to that piece of shit president, that moron. And now I'm going just to, of course I need this SDA as okay, as thumbnail. So I think that would be one of the last institutions that international institutions that I'm going to contact, and then I need to contact some other international institutions which are not directly related to state institutions, in the sense that state institutions are member of those international companies. I know it sounds strange. So judicial officers. Okay, so I can close this now. Now I'm going just to translate this email, and to make it faster, I'm going to use the Google Translate, and we'll I think that everything can fit here. So I will run it through Google Translate and fix if something needs to be fixed. In the continuation of this email, there is evidence of frauds of MTS, Telecom and Yetel. Yeah. About blocking of the internet that happened in December 2019, all in the context of international organized crime. Please return the item, the case. So that case of that, the MTS sent this guy, Lukic, regarding my debt to MTS Telecom within 24 hours, as well as inform me about it, but also forward the same case, it should be case to me. So when they send him a request to offer actually to buy a debt, he accepted it. He opened a case on that debt. This is how it works. So I wanted him to return that and to forward it to me. So I also need an explanation as to why you did not contact me. That's correct. When you received the case from MTS, or to refer to the law that allows you not to inform me. In the following video there is another proof that MTS still pisses me off. Okay. No, still. Okay, I made a mistake. It should be ignored. Okay. I meant they're still ignoring me, which is true. So now this is the that video. Which also contains in the beginning the part related to MTS. Okay, so I can close it now. I need to close tabs because I have problem with memory, video memory. So next up, a special report is the video about how MTS never answered my question whether they blocked me in December 2019. That's true, they just sent some general responses or not, as well as the fact that they never mentioned the name of the responsible person in charge in the answer they sent me. But in the meantime I found out that it is that person is a lawyer, Zorica Champar or Champara. Intentionally small letters. They are not small here. Okay. So they changed the letters. I use small letters because by doing that I'm doing that when I don't respect somebody. This can be also country. When I do this to a country or even language, it means that I think that country or language is artificial creation. So such as Montenegro. About whom I cannot find anything. Yeah, I cannot find a single thing about this Zorica Champara or Champara on internet, as if she does not exist. So that's another video. This is something I recently created. So the compilation of emails I sent to DA2 Telecom. As can be seen, they are TV series production company. So I said I will pay everything, all the money that I owe them for their services, but they first need to pay me damages for blocking me. So huge damages. They protected monsters who murdered 3 members of my family. So because of them I wasn't able to access my cams because they were blocking internet. I wasn't able to access cameras in country where I now live, but at that time I was living in Novi Sad city in Serbia. So for instance, this video explains why I needed this. So something was happening at that time, either pieces of shit from military or state intelligence installed something here. I really don't know, but something was happening. So the access to other videos about MTS, this is simply query in my channel, nothing special. So next up, we can add this as well. Actually, I need to move this here. So I draw your attention to the I draw your attention to the fact that I am not only witness of international organized crime, including arms trafficking, arms trade should be here, illegal arms trade, on two grounds or two counts, but I have also assumed the role of the Supreme. I'm acting as a Supreme Prosecutor in criminal according to criminal procedure law, or right as in human right, in the event that because this is wrong, because Supreme Prosecutor, Supreme Prosecutor ignored me. Now these are references to the book and page where this is explained. Not when he abandons criminal prosecution. Sort of correct. I mean, translation is sort of correct. So, if you don't answer me and return case to MTS, I will be forced to make a video about you, which I'm doing now, as well as to contact International Union or bailiffs. Okay. It should be of the judicial officers. Somewhere it says judicial and somewhere enforcement officers. Okay. And then this is the something that I already explained. So next up, I'm going to try to translate this. So since no one from the rectory, this is top of universities in Serbia, rectory of all universities in Serbia is allowed to respond. Actually, they don't have the guts to respond to my email. None of the universities, of top of universities in Serbia, because they are deeply, this is wrong, in international organized crime. That means everyone who is involved in a case in cover-up of cases of monstrous murders on my family will permanently lose their license to practice the profession, i.e. diploma, due to unworthiness. This is the video, so I need to. This is the video on universities, top of universities being deeply involved in international organized crime. Finally, I draw your attention to the fact that I have two types of cancer, true, and that the Russian doctor from Russian Federal Hospital Fyodorov is directly responsible for 4 cancers in my eye. 6 people in 1 million get this type of cancer, very rare, so I will sue anyone, actually everyone, who unnecessarily expose me to stress, and on that basis too. So on that grounds, whatever. So these are the videos on cancers I have. So 4 videos. First one. Second one. This is very important. YouTube zeroed views of this video 8 times. So 8 times this video goes, they let views of this video go to something like 5 or 6 views, and then after some time they decrease this to 0 for 8 times now. So 8 times, and it is impossible that nobody is watching this. I mean, people searching for cancer keyword every second. I mean, like 100 people every second. So, and for some reason I have only 6 views. So YouTube is blocking me brutally in every possible way. I have a lot of videos on that. This is about decreasing views and so on and so on. So that was third video, and fourth video is YouTube directly protects Russian government by real-time blocking that blocking views on that video that I just mentioned. Okay. Okay. So, if someone guaranteed you protection from criminal prosecution, they lied to you, because if they could, they would cover up the case of illegal arms trade, and this applies to the government and foreign embassies. So this is the video. I think that's the one on YouTube, on CNN, sorry. Yeah. CNN articles proves that I was right 2 years ago, I mean. Okay, so the case of monstrous murders of 3 members of my family also includes the poisoning of 3 minors, or poisoning 3 minors. Okay, so I think that Google, actually Gmail, that assistant, grammar assistant, stated that removed this off, and now this off is added here. Amazing. When I translated to, so when I wrote email in English, they removed this off, but now when I translate from Serbian to English, they added off. Okay, so that's the video on poisoning children. With a lot of pieces of evidence, not just one piece of evidence. A lot of pieces of evidence, and finally that last sentence. I'm sure you wouldn't want to be mentioned in any sense in that context, and that would be it. So, if there's something else to mention? I guess not. So that would be all regarding that guy NENAD LUKIC. Oh yeah. So I need to show. That he's registered in actually this is Ministry of the Justice, because Ministry of Justice is in charge of them, and also so he's in a lot of he's mentioned in a lot of websites. I don't know if that's the guy. Never mind. So I'm trying to find his place in the data about him in that chamber, but I cannot do it. So I'm just going to go here to the to site of Ministry of Justice. So that's him, and I will use this as a second part of the my thumbnail. I will add this to that initial thumbnail, to that basic main thumbnail. So that would be all regarding NENAD LUKIC public judicial officer.